Hi, this is Daniel Alpine, animation historian, and welcome to a new episode of Animation Memory Lane. You know, the year 1996 proved to be a very interesting year for both Disney and fans of the author Roald Dahl. For the former, the year saw the release of Muppet Treasure Island, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and the live-action 101 Dalmatians. For the latter, there was the theatrical reissue of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and the release of the film adaptation of his book Matilda, starring and directed by Danny DeVito. But in the middle of all this, the world of Disney and Roald Dahl would actually meet. The result would be James and the Giant Peach. A film that initially struggled at the box office upon first release despite positive reviews, but would later find its audience. Before we delve deep into the making of the movie, please remember, if you enjoy this video, remember to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to the channel so it could grow as much as the peach in the movie. Now that we're done with the context, let's take a look. Our story starts in 1961 with the publication of James and the Giant Peach by British author Roald Dahl. It was Dahl's first children's book after years of writing short stories for adults. For those who have never read the book, it's a story of a young orphan named James and his adventures with a huge peach and his friends, which were giant bugs. The book was a success, and Roald Dahl will continue to write more esteemed children's books. The book would also feature traits that would be carried over into Dahl's other books, which includes a dark tone and a fanciful world. A particular fan of this book that's important to our story is Disney legend Joe Ranft. Joe Ranft was a story artist who worked on many films, including Beauty and the Beast, The Rescuers Down Under, The Brave Little Toaster, and Toy Story. He read James and the Giant Peach as a child, and he tried to convince Disney to adapt it into a film in the 1980s, but the pitch was rejected by the then studio executives. But in 1993, during production on the stop-motion classic The Nightmare Before Christmas, Joe would pitch to director Henry Selick the idea of James and the Giant Peach. Henry Selick thought the book was a natural fit as a stop-motion movie by Skellington Productions, but this time, filmmaker and co-producer Tim Burton was able to convince Disney into adapting the book. While Danny DeVito and Steven Spielberg were also interested in the property, the Roald Dahl estate decided to sell the rights to Henry Selick after being impressed with the work done for Nightmare Before Christmas. After an initial script by Dennis Potter was rejected, future Over the Hedge director Kerry Kirkpatrick and Lion King co-writer Jonathan Roberts and writer Steve Blum were hired to write the script for the finished film. And similar to The Nightmare Before Christmas, James and the Giant Peach was to be a musical. The first choice of songwriter was Elvis Costello, before Disney overruled it and instead hired Randy Newman to write the songs, since he was already working on Toy Story. The film would also feature a unique idea in which the beginning and end would be done in live action, while the rest of the film was in stop motion. The film would also employ extensive use of computer animation, in particular for the water scenes. James and the Giant Peach was released in April of 1996 to excellent reviews. Even Roald Dahl's widow enjoyed it, and she thought that Roald would have enjoyed it as well. Unfortunately, while the movie opened at number 2 at the box office, the film did not do well financially. Because of this, Disney sold Skellington Productions. However, thanks to its release on video, James and the Giant Peach would earn a cult following, and it's still considered an underrated Disney gem. Even after the movie's initial struggle, director Henry Selick and producer Tim Burton would continue to make their mark on stop-motion animation. In 2009, another stop-motion adaptation of a Roald Dahl book, Fantastic Mr. Fox by Wes Anderson, would be released to also excellent reviews. And 20 years after the release of James and the Giant Peach, Disney would return to the eccentric world of Roald Dahl was their 2016 adaptation of the BFG, ironically directed by Steven Spielberg. But what did you think of Disney's James and the Giant Peach? Did you enjoy it too, and did it scare you as it scared me when I was a kid? To learn the full story about the making of Disney's James and the Giant Peach, remember to check out my article on my blog, Daniel Alpine's Animation Wonderland. Link is in the description. This is animation historian Daniel Alpine, and I'll see you next time.